How's it going, IO? Bridget Shields here. Today we're going to be talking about why Kim Kardashian has been mocking British girls, why Billie Eilish has filed a restraining order, and the fact that Alec Baldwin has just been charged with involuntary manslaughter. First off, maybe the craziest news of the week is that Alec Baldwin has been charged with involuntary manslaughter. Yes, you heard that right. Alec Baldwin and prop armorer Hannah Gutierrez-Reed will both be charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Both of them face a maximum of 18 months in prison if they are convicted. This is the result of a year-long investigation into the October 21st incident on the set of the movie Rust. The movie's assistant director Dave Halls signed a plea bargain with the DA for the charge of negligent use of a deadly weapon, and he accepted a suspended sentence and 6 months of probation. To give you some background, Dave Halls was the person who handed the firearm to Alec and informed the rest of the crew that it was not loaded. Andrea Reeve, the prosecutor, released a statement saying, any one of these 3 people, Alec Baldwin, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, or David Halls, had done their job, Helena Hutchins would still be alive today. It's that simple. The evidence clearly shows a pattern of criminal disregard for safety on the Rust film set. In New Mexico, there is no room for film sets that don't take our state's commitment to firearm safety seriously. Santa Fe's first judicial district attorney also released a statement saying, after a thorough review of the evidence and the laws of the state of New Mexico, I have determined that there is sufficient evidence to file criminal charges against Alec Baldwin and other members of the Rust film crew. On my watch, no one is above the law, and everyone deserves justice. Back in October of 2021, the actor was involved in a terrible on-set tragedy that shook Hollywood to the core. While on the set of the Western movie Rust, Alec used a prop firearm which happened to be loaded. Cinematographer Helena Hutchins was hit. She was then airlifted to the University of New Mexico Hospital, but she later died from her injuries. Another victim in the tragedy was Joel Stiuso, who was hit in the shoulder. The 42-year-old filmmaker was taken to Christus St. Vincent Regional Medical Center via helicopter, and he was released the following day after his injury was treated. The incident seemed to be a horrible accident gone wrong, and authorities have confirmed that the firearm was discharged by Alec. Last month, he claimed in an interview with ABC that he did not pull the trigger. Sheriff Adan Mendoza told Fox News, whatever needs to happen to manipulate the firearm, he did that and it was in his hands. As for Alec, he tweeted, there are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic accident that took the life of Helena Hutchins, a wife, a mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I'm truly cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragedy occurred. Now, we do know some things for sure. Both Dave Halls and Hannah Gutierrez-Reed handled the firearm before it was given to Alec for the rehearsal, where he was practicing pulling out the revolver. We know that Dave took one of the 3 prop weapons laid out on a rolling cart and handed it to Alec to film the scene. Dave then yelled out 2 words indicating that the firearm didn't have live rounds and it was safe to use. Alec then picked it up and fired it, even though he repeatedly denied pulling the trigger. He also claimed that someone put a live bullet in the firearm and that's what caused it to go off. He ended up filing a lawsuit against several of the crew members, including Hannah and Dave, alleging that they were negligent in their duties to protect everyone on set. In response, Hannah's attorney hit back and said that Alec was the only one responsible for the tragedy. Eventually, they all started pointing fingers at each other in an effort to get the blame off of themselves, although now we know that all 3 of them unknowingly played a part in the horrific tragedy. Kim Kardashian has taken over the internet again in the worst way possible. She posted a TikTok video yesterday where she gives herself a stereotypical British schoolgirl makeover. For those of you that don't know, it's also called the Essex girl look, but some have just straight up called it a chav makeover, which usually features a lot of orange foundation, painted eyebrows, and big fake eyelashes. Kim starts off by pulling her hair up into a high-top messy bun. She then goes on to her makeup, and to say it was dramatic would be an understatement. She overlines her eyebrows thickly with pencil and also applies a concealer that's way too light for her skin tone, all while aggressively chewing gum and listening to a girl singing in a British accent. Overall, the blocky brows, orange foundation that's 2 shades too dark for her skin, and concealer on her lips brings the whole look together. So you might be thinking, is Kim Kardashian specifically making fun of British girls? Well, yes, because that's what the TikTok trend is all about. People are trying to recreate the British chav look, all while lip-syncing to Millie B's viral diss track M to the B. The whole idea is pretty much poking fun at a generally working-class style of makeup that's a little bit over the top. But the fact that Kim Kardashian also participated in this trend just goes to show you how much it's growing. On TikTok, chavs are portrayed as young white women who dress in cheap sweats, wear patchy fake tan, and speak in an exaggerated version of estuary English, an accent that many people have associated with the British working class. On TikTok, the hashtag BritishChav has over 438 million views. But obviously you don't have to dig too deep to realize that these videos are a little bit problematic. At the moment, there's quite a lot of online discourse over the fact that non-British TikTok users taking part in the trend simply don't understand the deep-seated connotations of the word. But in usual Kim Kardashian fashion, she's never really one to care about being caught up in controversy. As it stands, the post has over 27 million views and 3.7 million likes. Fans were absolutely gushing about how she nailed the look online. One user tweeted, "Kim Kardashian dressing up as a chav to Millie B is literally the wildest culture clash I didn't expect to see." Another person wrote, "Didn't have Kim Kardashian doing a 2002 British schoolgirl makeover on my 2023 bingo card, but here we are." Overall, the reaction to the video has been pretty positive, but some people actually thought that she was throwing shade at Kylie Jenner, seeing as she was using her makeup products, Kylie Cosmetics, in order to transform into a full-blown chav. So it's entirely possible that she wanted to make Kylie's brand look cheap. Kim posted the makeover video on the TikTok account that she shares with her oldest daughter North. And even though 9-year-old North didn't make an appearance in that specific video, the mother-daughter teamed up for an epic transformation earlier this month, when Kim helped North impersonate her dad Kanye West, and the resemblance was uncanny. They made a TikTok lip-syncing to his 2013 song Bound 2, and North dressed up like Kanye by pulling her hair back into a black knit cap and wearing a hoodie. She also drew on his signature goatee that he rocked more than a decade ago. For her part, Kim wore wraparound chrome sunglasses, a black tank top, and leather pants. Then the words "Bound Baby" appeared on the bottom of the screen. But not everyone was happy with North being on TikTok. In fact, it seems like it's causing some major arguments between Kim and Kanye. The rapper posted a screenshot of one of the videos to his Instagram page. He wrote, "Since this is my first divorce, I need to know what I should do about my daughter being put on TikTok against my will." In response, Kim posted a statement of her own on her Instagram story. She said, "Kanye's constant need for attacking me in interviews and on social media is actually more hurtful than any TikTok North might create. As a parent who is the main provider and caregiver for our children, I am doing the best to protect our daughter, while also allowing her to express her creativity in the medium that she wishes with adult supervision because it brings her happiness. But if North does stay on social media, it could present a major problem down the road. We know that Kim and Kanye both share equal custody of the children, so they have to agree on certain things in order to make co-parenting work. And clearly Kanye has drawn a hard line in the sand when it comes to his children being on TikTok." Next up, why has Billie Eilish just filed a restraining order, and who is it against? Well, the reason is actually pretty horrifying. She requested a restraining order against a man who allegedly broke into her home in LA multiple times over the last month. She said that the incidents have caused her substantial anxiety, fear, and emotional distress over her safety and that of her family. On January the 5th, the LAPD arrested 39-year-old Christopher Anderson on suspicion of burglary after he attempted to break into her house by jumping over a fence to gain access to the property. According to the LA Times, the family has called police to their home on 5 separate occasions, all involving the man since last December. Over the past month, Anderson's pursuits have ranged from creepy to downright delusional. In the court documents that were filed, Billie said that he turned up unannounced and uninvited after apparently professing his love for her and expressing that he really wanted to meet her. In her own statement to the police, the 21-year-old said that she had never communicated with Anderson before, but she says that the stalking has made her feel too unsafe to return to her childhood home. She said, "I have viewed images of this individual and I can confirm I have no idea who he is, and that I have had no prior relationship or communication with him." According to her father, Patrick O'Connell, this Anderson guy has rung the doorbell asking to use the bathroom. Then he slid a phone onto their front gate, left a white flower and a handwritten note where he professed his love for her. But this is where it gets really delusional. Apparently, Anderson also claimed that Billie had been watching him and writing songs about him, so that's why he really wanted to meet her. The restraining order requests protection for her mother and father, as well as her brother Phineas O'Connell. The singer also insisted that this is not the first time an unknown individual has attempted to contact her or her family, specifically by stalking and making professions of love and threats of violence. Unfortunately, Billie has faced so many things like this over the course of her blossoming career. She even said, "I worry that someday one of these individuals will do something violent or extremely disturbing to me or one of my family members." To give you a bit of context, in 2021 she was granted a temporary restraining order after a 23-year-old man named John John Matthews Hurl camped out across the street from her family home and sent her a death threat. Apparently he was perched on a fence to look into her house and performed a throat-slitting gesture when he saw Billie. She initially obtained a temporary restraining order, but has since been able to secure a 5-year order against him. In legal documents obtained by The Blast, she said that Hurl's disturbing activity caused her emotional injury, including fear for her safety, fear for the safety of her family, and loss of her sense of peace and tranquility, and security in her home and personal space. She said, "I no longer feel safe going outside my home and enjoying basic physical exercise in my neighborhood. He could attempt to approach and hurt me. Every time I see him, I just want to scream." When Billie was granted a temporary restraining order against a trespasser by the name of Pernell Rousseau, who visited her home 7 times. This came from an unwelcomed address leak, and so eventually her family's home had to be blurred on Google Street View to prevent a similar incident happening again. That same year, she spoke about the stalking incident to Rolling Stone and said, "It was really traumatizing. I completely don't feel safe in my house anymore, which sucks. I love my house. I've loved attention all my life, but I don't think anyone knows what fame actually is. The truth is that celebrities, particularly young women, have long been subjected to stalking and other dangerous behavior from crazy fans, which ends up stripping them of both their privacy and any notion that they have of safety. So let's just hope that these so-called fans eventually get the hint and keep the stalking to social media." Well, that's all the stories that we have for today. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one. They have to agree on certain things in order to